Welcome to UMath. What do we have here today? We have Bart Simpson's classroom. His teacher is named Mrs. Krabappel, and this is where she hangs out. Bart always seems to get in trouble, so every day he's got to write lines on the board so you can see for this day what he had to write. For those who don't know too much about The Simpsons, every episode shows Bart in the intro when the theme song's on, writing something different on the board. So there's something like 600 different things he's written since the show started. And what do we have here, right in the corner? It's the teacher's to-do list. So what's the teacher saying? Teacher is saying, things to do today. Catch Bart vandalizing school property. Number 2, call mother. Number 3, stare out the window. Number 4, make announcements. Number 5, address cafeteria roach infestation. And number 6, give out detention slips. So very typical teacher stuff, I guess you would say. So today we are doing what's called the distributive principle. And you guys actually have seen this year. I just never used this term for it, which I'll show you in a second where you've seen it. But let's take a look at this. We're now actually getting into some algebra that is high school. So you guys get a bit of a head start here. So the way the distributive principle works is as so. If you saw a question like this, you might say, well, I'm just going to follow BEDMAS and say do what's in the brackets first, which would mean 12 minus 8 is 4. And then do 6 times 4 is 24. Now the distributive principle says there's a second way that you can do this, and that is if you have a number outside a bracket like this and there's nothing in between, we know it's times, you can actually multiply anything that's inside the brackets by that 6. So here's how it looks. 6 times the 12 is 72 minus 6 times the 8 is 48, and 72 minus 48 is 24. Come up with the same answer. So that's the distributive principle. What if you didn't actually have a question that came up with a definitive answer at the end? Well, the way you simplify this is just like we did in this one, where we took the number on the outside the brackets and multiplied it by the first one. We do the same here. 3 times x is 3x. And as we did up here, we took the 6 again and multiplied it by the second one. 3 times 4. And that's it. You can't go any further in this question. That is the answer for this. Unless I actually told you what x was, and in this case I haven't, so we're all done. Now, this is where you've seen it before. When we did the formula for the surface area of a rectangular prism, here's the formula for it, but this is the distributive principle form I gave to you because it was a lot easier to deal with. What the book gave you was multiplying it out, which would have taken you a lot more work. So as we saw in here, where you can actually take the number outside the brackets, multiply it by the first one, then multiply it by the second one, we can do that here as well. 2 times LW is 2LW, plus 2 times WH is 2WH, plus 2 times LH is 2LH. So that is the formula that they gave you in the book, but I said I'd much rather you guys have the distributive form, that's this one here, because it's easier to do. You don't have to do as many calculations. But either way, it is the same. You would come up with the same answer either way, just as I showed you over here. If you did it this way, or if you did it this way, we still come up with the same answer. Let's do one more. 4 times 3 is 12, minus 4 times W is 4W. And if we don't know what W is, and in this case I have not told you what W is, we are finished. That's it. So that is the distributive principle. So for lesson 158, questions to cross off would be problem solving number 2, number 5, sharpening skills 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. So I'm only giving you 3 questions here to do. That's 3, 5, and 6. Please use the triangle of wisdom for it because they're all different types of ways of solving it. And on the back side, you may cross off 10 to 15. So all of these. You may also cross off 17 to 20 in the chart. So the only one in the chart you're doing is 16. And then make sure you finish off doing the rest of the questions on the bottom. So it's quite a few crossed off, so enjoy.
That was easy.